Thank you so much for joining me here at the live desk. I am Janae Hancock. I'm sure you all have heard about this story or you've read about this story. The missing 22-year-old Mizzou student, Riley Strain, that went missing Friday night in Nashville, Tennessee. Now, today we do have as our guest his cousin. You're taking a look at Jake Bradley. And Jake, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out to talk to me here on the live desk. As you know, this is an ongoing search, and you are out there in Nashville yourself, and you all just heard from detectives. Can you just give us an insight on what they told you?
Yeah, they kind of just gave us an update. We were able to finally, all in a group, sit down face to face. You know, just reiterate to us that they have footage. They have where they last seen him. There's holes in it as any street cameras and everything else. They are working really hard to find out where he went after the last footage. Um, they reiterated how much information they have and have gathered over the last few days. Now they've got to take a little bit to kind of process more of it and maybe go back on some and or look at camera footage that they in the same spots they had to make sure you hadn't turned around. Just kind of it was good to have them here to remind us how hard they're working.
And I do want to talk about, processing this whole situation as we take a look at this video that was just released yesterday, that surveillance video. And like you said, detectives, they are still putting all of it together. Let's talk a little bit more about the search efforts. I know the entire family basically is out in Nashville right now. What are you all doing, and what are authorities doing to really search for Riley Strain right now?
So we have his parents and a small extra group here. We've done lots of I say lots. We've done as much searching as we can with time, with also trying to stay healthy ourselves and talk to news and different media. And we've got many non-for-profits reaching out. We've had the opportunity, some of us, to get on the water and search the riverbanks and kind of be boots on the ground alongside, seeing the efforts by the police and search and rescue. Not only you know, did it feel good to be looking, but also seeing other avenues doing their search, it helped. Uh, we have groups at home that are doing amazing amounts of research and contacting people and helping spread the word and talking to people he was with, reaching out to more media and get this story spread as fast as it can. And the bigger the story gets, the more pressure that comes to help find Riley.
And Jake, I see you taking deep breaths and you're really taking your time to tell this story. We are now in day 5 since Riley has been gone in Nashville. That's where he was last seen. He was at the bar with his friends. How are you feeling right now in this moment? Like we talked about the other day, you guys are such a close knit family.
It's it's tough, and I just can't imagine what his parents feel.
And I saw, a few different clips of his mom, who was also out there with you, and I believe his stepfather. And I know that his mom was crying out for people to just help with any information. And you also mentioned when we talked the other day that they talk on the phone multiple times a day. Tell me a little bit more before we move on. What kind of person is Riley? Let's get to know him a little bit better. What kind of cousin is he to you?
A better kid than most kids. He's he's he was my sister's age, a couple years younger, so they grew up kind of side by side. So I was 12 years ish older, 14 years older. Sorry, somewhere in there. I'm losing track of time. Um, he's just a good kid. He's not like the kid every time you talk to somebody like, hey, have you seen this kid? this kid's gone missing. Oh, he'll show up. He's shacked up, or he'll call. It's not this kid. Riley's he's a good kid. He he, he doesn't deserve this. Um, he's just the type of kid. If he was out and he talk to anybody. He's not confrontational. We were told even when he had to leave the bar, he wasn't confrontational there, and just overserved, had to leave. Okay. Um, he's a nice young man. Every time he sees my son, he brings him a new toy.
And I know there was also a clip with another cousin who said that he had a bubbly personality and that you
Yeah.
all were always taught to never go anywhere alone. So knowing that Riley was loved by or is loved by so many people, how does it feel knowing that he was alone in that moment? And you've seen the video where he just kind of walks across the street and he's by himself. How does that make you feel?
I can't say that on air. Angry.
Jake, I do want to move on, and I'm not going to take up too much more of your time. But we kind of talked about it before we pushed this out to our social media platforms. But what I have been seeing on Instagram and Twitter is a lot of people asking, why was Riley kicked out of the bar in Nashville on Friday? What can you tell us about that?
College kid, and they heard a bar. He overserved and asked to leave. That's all we know. True, false, indifferent. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think my final question to you, Jake, is what message would you leave with our viewers who are tuned in right now and they'll see this story as the days go on, as the search continues? What would you like for them to know, especially here in Kansas City? What can we do to help you all?
Just keep spreading it. Keep spreading it. The more people that talk about it, the more media that gets into it, the more investigation continues and gets. It doesn't get overlooked. It doesn't get passed up. It doesn't quit in a couple days. It just keeps going. This is, and maybe it saves the next one. Maybe it causes things like this to be looked into more. Maybe it causes the next group of adults, kids, college kids, whatever. Maybe it causes them to think and stay in a group. Don't go by yourself. Just keep keep spreading the word.
And Jake, I do want to let you know that in our comments on Facebook right now, a lot of people are saying that they are praying for you all and praying for Riley and his safe return. So I want to thank you so much for joining me here at the live desk. As far
Thank you.
as our viewers who are joining us right now, we will continue with this developing story and we'll bring you updates as they come in.
Thank you all.